In this example, we're asked to determine the point estimate of the population proportion, along with some other things, such as the margin of error for the following confidence interval and the number of individuals in the sample with the specified characteristic X. And we're given these lower and upper bounds, and the sample size is 1,000. Now, in this problem, it's kind of like we're working this backwards, I guess. Normally, we would start here by estimating the point estimate, the population proportion, or p hat. Then we would determine the margin of error, and then we would determine the lower and upper bounds for that confidence interval. So think of it as you're working backwards. If you know the lower and upper bounds, then p hat has to be directly in the middle. Think of it like as an average. Okay, so I just did that in my calculator, calculated what is in the middle of those two endpoints, and it's 0.7. So p hat here is 0.7. So this must mean that the margin of error is this distance between the center, p hat, and an endpoint. We could say this upper endpoint, 0.849. So let's find that distance. And that value is the margin of error. Lastly, if we want to know the number of individuals in the sample with this specific or specified characteristic, we take p hat, 0.7, and multiply it by our sample size, 1,000, to obtain 700 individuals in that sample, would then give us this p hat value of 0.7. So again, think of it kind of like you're working this problem backwards from the maybe typical way to, or typical order to do this type of problem.